How you guys doing? This is good old Grandmaster Revenue, and you're watching the Anonymous Liberty Media. How many of you ever played soccer as a kid? No. Had fun kicking the ball around, and it didn't matter if you win or lost, but it's enjoyment of the game, enjoyment of the game, and total enjoyment of the game. You play for fun, you enjoy yourself, you play long enough, and I mean any sport, soccer, track and field, tennis, and gymnastics, and uh, football, baseball, basketball, ice hockey, and everything else, and that's what I did when I was younger. I used to play soccer when I was a kid. I used to play for my school, and and then I went on to play baseball. I played baseball for a good a good 3 years, and I played softball for up to almost 15 years, and it was fun. I enjoyed playing. It was a fun time. It was a really um, awesome time. I played with a lot with cool people, and I loved it. Whether we won or lost, it was a fun time. It was a pretty good time. But now you got Megan Rapinoe, that chick, pink-haired chick, short, pink-haired chick, complaining about wage, and the U.S. women's soccer team won the World Cup, and they're riding up their little attitude, how they should get paid more for playing just for playing soccer. I mean, she's a female Colin Kaepernick, and I mean, you shouldn't let your ego overflate your status, man. I mean, Colin Kaepernick did it in the NFL by kneeling every time. I mean, the guy was a pretty good quarterback, a pretty good quarterback for the Niners and shit. And he turned down a pretty good deal. I mean, $15 million, up to between 15 and $50 million. Holy shit! For what? He ain't playing no more. Hasn't played in a couple of years. And then players around the league was doing it. Since he left. Let's do this for Colin. Well, but the thing is, you're getting paid, okay? You're getting paid millions of dollars, okay? Millions of dollars, okay? To play, and you're getting paid millions of dollars every year, and you shouldn't complain about I mean, you're getting paid millions of dollars to play the game of soccer, and I mean, and then what happened after that? They won the World Cup. They had their hotel broken into. They had cash, thousands of dollars in cash, and they lost. They had stuff taken, plus the key to the city of New York. That was given to them by the mayor de Blasio and shit, And I mean, it's at the point that you pretty much overhyped yourself after winning the World Cup. And don't get me wrong, sports has always been the sport that got kids out of trouble. You know.
This is Watcher 2 to Cipher 9. Verify that you're receiving and prepare for takeoff. We've located the Eagle.
Tell me where.
And it's a point that sports always been that it helped inner city youth get out of trouble, get out of the place that they lived, the neighborhood they lived. They played football, soccer, baseball, basketball, and they even did music, rap, hip hop, blues, jazz, and what they did got them out of a rut, and they got signed to a record label to be either a performer, producer, writer, lyric writer, and shit like that, and they made money doing it. Got them out of the situation, and but if you are overhyping yourself because you want your ego to inflate what it means to play a sport. Look, it is. Look, I love playing sports. Sports helped a lot of people. I mean, quite literally, it helped. You enjoyed.
Signal received. Transmission secure. All right, Cipher. Looks like this is the real thing.
There is.
You better believe it.
The Eagle and his men are holed up in an old refinery beneath
I mean,
the river. Sending coordinates now.
Look at players now in NFL.
Military reinforcements will surround the base and follow you in.
You don't see anybody.
Capture or eliminate the Eagle himself.
Acknowledged him.
You don't see anybody.
We'll find him.
You don't see anybody kneel in NASCAR. Okay, NASCAR. Because NASCAR has been a sport that people have been hooked to for many, many years. NASCAR is a NASCAR.
All right, no problem. I told you about my ex-partner. Well, that's fine. What's not fine is when random freaking bounty hunters come after me because they smell a trend.
Everything has been politicized. Everything has been politicized, and I mean, politics shouldn't be in sports anyway. You know, I mean, you should not bring politics into sports. Okay, politics is a place where dumbasses let their ego inflate their head about power, craving unlimited source of money. Fans of sports are tired of it. You know, they're tired of seeing politics in sports. They're tired of seeing athletes try to make a name for themselves politically. You're playing a sport you're getting paid tons of money for, and you're letting you're letting an issue get to you. Here you're playing soccer, football, baseball, whatever you're competing in, and everything has been politicized. You know, you're mad. You're mad at. You're angry. You're pissed off about police brutality, but you're kneeling during the national anthem. Okay, well, do you think kneeling during the national anthem is going to help you send a message that you're protesting against police brutality on a football field in front of tens of thousands of people that's staring at you square in the face, and they're asking the question, why is this prick kneeling? No, you didn't see anybody kneel back in the day during the national anthem. They stood up with their hand over their heart or their hat over their heart. They stood there. They didn't kneel. They did not kneel. And if you think that kneeling to protest the president or the national anthem, you're pretty stupid, you know, because it pisses off fans. You're pissing off people that paid lots of money for tickets, especially season tickets. Okay, season tickets, and yeah, you gotta understand, if you're pulling shit from the fans, some of them are probably not going to be buying any season tickets. Probably not until you realize that
Who's coming after you, Kalia?
Guys called the Menace.
it's pretty much
This is good.
I mean, you have to really ask the questions, why are athletes politicizing the sport? Like the women's soccer team, you know, they're complaining about wage. Pay us more. Okay, but to pay you is based on your performance, not what you're demanding. You know, it's not what you're demanding. It's on your performance. It's like Major League Baseball. If you are leading in 3 or 4 categories as a hitter or a pitcher, if you're a pitcher and you're leading in wins, strikeouts, ERA, innings, I mean, 3 or 4 categories, and if you're a hitter, you're leading the league, and you're leading the majors in home runs, RBIs, batting average, on base percentage, steals, how many doubles you're putting out, triple. I mean, if you're leading in 3 to 4 categories or even 5 categories, you're pretty much up there, you know, based on your performance. Now, as a hitter, you're at the plate, you're making 25,000-30,000 every time you go at the plate. 25,000-30,000 every time you go to the plate. And also you get paid on how many hits you get too. Now, as a soccer player, I don't know how much you get paid for scoring a goal or something like that, or a steal, Now the NBA, in the NBA, not one person kneels. Not one person. That's one sport I do respect. Is that you don't see any NBA players kneeling because they got their shit to deal. They got issues they have. They got issues that they got to deal with themselves.
Could you bring this out to the mailbox? This is from Lisa.
In a minute. Yeah. But if you want a fair pay in sports, if you're a female or woman, whether you're a man or a woman, you're paid based on your performance, not because of what you have between your legs. It's based on your job performance. Okay, I mean, and nobody's going to bow down and kiss your ass because they're demanding you to pay them more. Fuck that, it's based on your performance. If you do well, fine. If you don't, if you do well, you're good. You'll get paid. But the thing is, you have to realize nobody's just gonna hand you a raise because you are demanding a raise. No. Based on your performance, and you have to think about your actions here, okay? Your actions. Because if crazy shit you do lands you in some deep shit. It'll be in the papers, it'll be on the internet, it'll be on the morning or evening news and shit like that. But if you're Megan Rapinoe or Rapinoe or whatever her name is, you and your team basically fucked yourselves by being arrogant. You had your room broken into by leaving it unlocked, by leaving it open or something like that. Whether you left it open or unlocked, and you got your shit stolen, thousands of dollars in cash and shit like that. You did to yourself. You did to yourself. You and your team, you ladies fucked yourselves when you became arrogant and complained about pay is better. Look, you're an athlete. You're getting paid to kick the ball around, dude. Okay, nobody's gonna kiss your ass because you're saying pay is better, perform better. Perform better. It's based on performance. You get paid based on performance. And if you do well, then just maybe. But if not, if you're going to complain about it, well, you gotta be, you gotta have some common courtesy that you're playing for the United States women's soccer team. Nobody complained over the years that women played soccer. They did not complain. They did not say pay us more. No, they did not complain. Who's that chick that married no more Garcia Parr? She played for the U.S. soccer team, and she got paid. She got endorsements. She got paid through endorsements. What did Megan Rapinoe do? Did she get endorsements? No, she did not. I don't think she's endorsing is her ego. Pay us more. On her team, pay us more. Didn't you get a bonus for winning the championship and shit? I guess you did. It went to complain about it. Shit, you make as long as you get paid. Shit, you're good. It's what it is. It's the how men are making more in sports and shit now. All right. Oh my god. How come the guys are making more money than us in this sport? How about asking the United States soccer the people that runs the teams and shit? Ask them. I think it's kind of getting out of control and shit. Just to be honest. I mean, it's this women's lib bullshit, you know. But the thing is, you don't see anybody complaining, man. I mean, there's been women's soccer for a long time, and they did not. Have they complained? Probably not. No, I mean, yeah, it is a different time, but it's a different time. It's a different era, but still, it's the same bullshit, you know. It should be. I mean. It's this bullshit that's been politicized by dumbasses who wants to complain about we're not getting paid enough. Really? Okay. Why is that? I mean, it should be that how you're performing on the field. How are you performing in the workplace? There was a young lady that asked President Trump when he was running that she asked if he's president. She asked the question. The question was, would I get paid same as a man? She says. And she's asked, would she be allowed to do what she wants with her body? Now, that second question should not be asked. The first question is to be asked, and the answer was pretty blunt. You get paid as if you're doing a better job. That means getting paid based on your performance. And I you know, it should be based on your performance. Period. I mean, if you're doing a good job, if you do a good job, and you don't complain, you get along with everybody, and they get along with you. I mean, it says, can you pay me as like the guys? Well, the thing is, you got to be. I mean, look at women of the day. Oprah, she's a billionaire. A billionaire. Okay, she's a billionaire. Um, she was, I mean, she made $1 billion. She's a billionaire, and she made her money through just, I mean, 25 years. Shit. And but it's an era where people are complaining.
Sir, we're cut off.
Complaining
Thurston and
politically.
Gerald tried to get out, but the Imperials are all over the swamps.
There would be. Damnation. I promised Gerald she'd die with a detonator in one hand and a glass of brandy in the other. Seems she's made a liar of me.
I'm sorry, sir.
Don't be. You were everything I could have hoped for. Now carve us a path out. Follow soon.
But
All right, I see you. The least I could. But have you seen this?
I mean, you have to think. If I'm working this job or playing this sport professionally, now, if there was, there has to be a solution to this, you know. What she's doing and her teammates are doing this. They're doing this gender pay gap bullshit. It don't exist. Okay, the gender pay gap does not exist. It never has existed. And
Your inspiration.
and
We found out all.
and it is a point that if there was a simple solution. Now back in the day, the annual yearly wage was like 50 to 80,000, was it 50,000 a year? And sports, whether you're playing soccer or baseball or hockey or any sport, you made under $10 million, under $15 million. But when Ryan Sandberg, who's now a Hall of Famer, the Cubs were paying him $20 million. That was a record, $20 million. And because of the agent for Alex Rodriguez, he signed a 10-year, $252 million contract. 10 years. First 5 years, $21.2 million per year for 5 years. And then the rest would be about between $7 to $8 million per year, or whatever it was. And after 4 years, he made about $84 million. $84 million. And when he signed with the Yankees, they signed him to a 10-year, $360 million. And for 10 years. And the Yankees had a $1 billion cap. And no other team has that kind of money. $1 billion thing. And most of the teams have about $500,000 or got $500 million, $400,000, and the players didn't make that much. They made a few made about what 30,000-40,000 total on according to their contract, based on their contract. But women's soccer, when the wife of No More Garcia Pop was playing for the Red Sox, she was playing in the late 90s, early 2000s. And she made money through endorsements. She's a good. She's a good player, and didn't complain. Nobody ever heard her complain or didn't complain. No, they're getting paid pretty well, comfortable. Now, Ronda Rousey was asked the question about that, which was fighting for the UFC, and she was asked about the gender pay gap thing, and she says as long as she's comfortable, as long as you're comfortable, you shouldn't complain. And she helped make UFC more money.
Damnation.
And
You lost.
I really see. Cypher 9, it's Watcher 3. Are you hurt? That was a nasty explosion.
A little singed, but better than the eagle.
Yes, Cypher, how much?
so I mean, it is a it is. I mean, it's all about they're politicizing this gender pay gap bullshit in sports now, and why it makes no sense. Honestly, it makes no sense. Why? As long as you're comfortable financially and playing the game that you're enjoying playing, and you make it to the championship, you win the World Cup, you're good, you're comfortable financially. So why complain about demanding to get paid more? And I mean, if you're a player in any sport, or if you're a driver for NASCAR, the guys in NASCAR aren't complaining. You know, they're comfortable. You know, they're comfortable financially. No complaints. And the money they're making, they use some of that to create their own NASCAR team. And it's pretty much that if you're doing the right thing, not bringing in politics in sports, you're good. But if you're complaining about not getting paid more while playing women's soccer, what the fuck, dude? You're making money. You're comfortable. You should be comfortable. No, making it a good living. You know, doing what you're doing. NFL players are making tons of money. You know, money up the wazoo and shit, man. You know, they're making up to $100 million. Up to $100 million. and yet they're getting in trouble with the law. They're gun charge, drug charge, murder charge, and shit. I mean, look at Rick Caruth. That dude's on death row for killing his pregnant girlfriend and shit. The guy was making money, good money, playing for the Panthers, and shit. All of a sudden, he's on death row for having his girlfriend killed and shit. Like, dude, why, dude, you're going to be a dad, man. You know, you're going to be a dad, dude. And so what it is, the guy was cheating on his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was pregnant with his kid. And because athletes do cheat on their women. You know, if you're not smart, if you're not faithful enough, smart enough to keep the snake in, keep the weasel in his cage. Here's the thing. If you're an athlete, male athlete, if you're making tons of money, I mean, comfortable enough money where you're sitting very comfortably, by the way, okay, and you cheat on your wife or your girlfriend or something like that, dude. And she's pregnant, and she's the mother of your children. Financially, you're
Cypher 9.
basically you're fucking yourself.
This should be a triumphant moment. It's a tremendous achievement bringing down the Eagle. The crisis has only escalated. The Eradicators could begin firing at any moment.
What's our current status?
I mean,
Your report.
look at Kobe Bryant.
Have placed local
He
forces
cheated on his
alert,
wife,
and a search for the Eradicators is underway.
and the chick that he cheated on her with
Trends suggest we
accused
can
him
only
of
find
rape.
one device every 5 hours. It'll be weeks before we
And
destroy them.
Disappointing, but not a surprise.
Estimates are
Even at the level.
you know half the codes.
now let's
Watcher 2.
If you want to talk before the mission, I'll be at my station.
now
There is one more thing.
Any idea what?
This is
now Kobe Bryant. The dude, John's wife with the chick. Okay. And that chick accused him of rape. Now here's a problem with that.
I'm glad you stopped by. I've been going over the mission parameters,
Um,
studying the Eradicator control code, scans of the ARTA system. We're facing a mystery.
if you're a chick and you're willing to
You may hate mysteries, but you're pretty good at solving them.
I am.
put yourself in that
I don't mind
position
having that recognized.
where you're
Vanity, but I don't
banging
know
an
my creation
NBA
serves a
ball
purpose.
player, an NFL ball
How
player,
you?
NBL.
What's been going through your head
player.
since this countdown to Eradication Day started?
Honestly, I've been thinking about you.
I've been thinking of you as well. At least when my brain has cycles to spare.
And it's and you
As good a partner
you
as I've
consented,
as I've ever had. We've made quite a team.
okay, and
Never wish we could be more than a team.
Imperial intelligence
at first
does encourage
you
violence.
consented. You went
I've done
through
my
with
part.
it. You went through
Before we
the
leave,
affair
Would you like to go somewhere?
or a
private?
one-night stand,
Get reacquainted.
and
What about your place?
after you did the
Somewhere not in
deed,
the Citadel and not in the Starship.
We don't have long, so let's make the most of what time we have.
and all of a sudden,
That was lovely, Cypher.
you went
Now,
from
you should get ready.
you went
We have a
from
mission to stop the Eradicators.
We'll have to celebrate afterward.
Maybe so.
and
Assuming we have an empire
all of a
left.
sudden you went from consenting to now, oh, he raped me. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's then you should have realized he was married. If you're a chick. And the guy's a millionaire, married, a couple kids, and to save face, to save his marriage, he gave his wife a fucking huge rock worth tens of thousands of dollars and shit. Like, dude, like, fucking A, dude. I mean, the rock was that. I mean, the rock was fucking fat, dude. The diamond was fat, and she looked like the kind of chick that if you screw her over, she could really fuck you royally, financially and shit. And but if you're a chick that went along with banging the guy and not caring the world if he was married or not, and then turn around and say, accuse the guy of rape, oh man, that first foremost, that if you consent, then all of a sudden you accuse the guy of assaulting you that way. You did it to yourself by laying with the guy. And it's if you're willing to sleep with the guy,
You suggest a dark council member hide in a vat.
or vice versa.
I am programmed to dispense medical advice based on all relevant factors.
That's like there was a
yourself disassembled.
Lawrence Otherwood asked a question
The most desolate place in
a
the
couple of years
empire.
ago.
Look, Agent, they hurt me, and then they laughed. How could they?
Your injuries, my lord.
And
The dark.
it's really
What happened?
When I was the,
I
I know. Yes, I.
now there's a question about that. You know, why would you want to stoop that low? But you put yourself that low, where you put yourself in that position, and the term there's always a term that I remember growing up listening to hearing: think before you act. Think of the outcome and think of the consequences. And Lawrence Other was given consent to do a interview, and after the interview, a couple of these ladies asked that she does not
Ready for departure.
do the interview. They're like taking away the consent away. Well, can't do that. Once you consent to an interview, it's like either way. Consent. If you consent, you cannot take it back. If it was consensual, there you go. You cannot take it back. You cannot change it. Okay? It's like if you're a chick and you consent to a guy to get jiggy with it, or whoa, then all of a sudden you think, oh, this was a mistake. So then you call cops and said, oh, the guy did this to me. You can't do that. You know, you can't do that. You know, it's I mean, it's like if you're a guy, you have to get consent. You just can't just do it. You gotta get consent, and you have to consent. If the chick consents, says it's okay, it's good, then you guys go at it for an hour or so, or whatever, how long it may be, it is. Then all of a sudden, you had a good time, and everything went pretty well. Then all of a sudden, the chick calls cops on you, accuse you of rape, even though she consented. Now, that part is a two-way street. You can't consent, then all of a sudden think, oh, this is a mistake, and then accuse the guy of the act. You're accusing him of, because that would put you in a legal bind. Because if you consented, okay, consent, you cannot take it back. Once you consented, you cannot take it back. That's like if you're in the news, okay, in the news business, and you get consent to do an interview. No, you get consent to use footage, and after you get consent of using a footage, then all of a sudden that same person or persons go to you and say, we would like to take the consent back. You cannot no longer use the footage. Well, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. That's basically saying yes, then after a while, oh, no. You cannot use the footage. Okay, really? You're going to deny? You're going to say, well, you cannot use the footage. Okay, that's like getting consent to have sex, and all of a sudden, the person you have sex with, then all of a sudden decides to go from consent part to saying, well, this person raped me. Wow, that's like calling the grape purple. Holy crap, by the way. You know,
now I've been busy, but when are you gonna buy me that drink?
Something going?
Little nuts.
and
I like a game.
So you'd have to call it a night.
We don't have to. I'm sure the mission can wait.
Hey, it's been fun, but the mood's long gone.
it's you gotta ask the questions. Why would the person consent, then all of a sudden take it back? Is that you gotta ask that question there, like, okay, this is not good. let's see, they consented. We got Jiggy. Then the next day, everything was good. The night went well, went pretty well. Had a good time. Then all of a sudden, I'm here in county jail. But you gotta think here. If we're going to accuse a person of that, it will get investigated. It will get investigated. And the findings are not going to be in the favor of the person who's consented. And then all of a sudden accuse the person of the misdeed. I just think that there's an issue with that. You know, you want to accuse somebody of this
Nice
crime.
place. The Eagle's partner travels in style.
Cypher, there's no one to welcome us. Seems our cloaking devices worked.
But it's
Good to see you too. How was the flight?
it's very
Uneventful,
questionable.
fortunately. I stayed in your wake. This starship is a modified Imperial Dreadnought. Maximum crew complement of 5,000. It's
So
also jamming
here's my
long-range
question.
communications, so I can't check its registration or call for reinforcements.
Can we neutralize the Jap?
If
Any?
can you
Is this one
Consent.
communication, or can I reply?
to a
Subvocally. Whisper to me and no
To
one else will
a,
hear. While you search the
an
interior,
act
I'll try to cipher the
that's
security
that
systems.
that was
We're counting
consent.
on you. Put an end to this.
But can the person take it back after they consented? That's that's one of the questions here in the video. But also here is that there's this issue that
It's a grand social
it's a bring out this gender pay gap bullshit. You know? It's like, does it exist? No, it don't exist. And but you gotta ask that question. Does it exist? Probably not. And if a person does consent, then all of a sudden decides, well, it was a mistake. I'm going to call the authorities on this person. And all of a sudden, the person who was accused did get consent. And did get consent, then the person decides, well, I'm gonna stop consenting, so I'm gonna lock them up for just the hell of it. And the person that did consent decides to say, well, this was a mistake, so I'm gonna call the authorities on this person. That would be a legal ramification for the person that's doing it, the accusation after consent. And I mean, if the chick all of a sudden decides, well, it's okay, she consented to the one night stand or the moment, then out of the blue, calls the authorities. It's I would want to question that, because if you're just going to give consent, by the way, then all of a sudden you're no longer consenting. You're actually it went from getting a consent
I was so happy when I got the invitation.
means
Everything was going to change for me. Leave home for a
the
year.
moment's going to happen.
Why has the master picked me to survive?
Then after a while, after the fun happened, after the fun was done and dealt with, and the chick all of a sudden decides, well, yeah, I had fun, yeah, I consented, but it's now a mistake.
You feel that prickling?
So,
Like maggots.
So, you've arrived at last.
it was a,
You're a seven.
Oh,
You talk.
I,
You get a hit with a I was the bush.
well, the thing is,
Doesn't that
it's a question,
what the erratic? It's
and,
it sounds like tell me about the. If I don't cooperate, if you would.
well, there has to be,
I'm all right, but I don't think we have much time.
We need to re-examine our priorities.
and,
We came here to keep.
I've
Once they
so, what do you guys do? What do you guys think? I mean, what? Now, this question is for you guys too. What's the so there's been cases where there were guys that were accused of crime of raping, sexual assault, even though and there were cases of it, and even though there was no evidence, they went by word. And even though there was no evidence, the guy still went to jail. Even though there was no evidence, they went by the word of the chick, woman. And
bridge schematics. You'll need to take out these components to reroute power to the force fields.
and if there was any evidence, then maybe there was. He did do it, but if there was no evidence to prove the claim, you would be put in a in a position where what do you do? There has to be some evidence to prove that claim, and I think there should be evidence to prove claim. to prove the accusation. And
I still need more power to get that force field up.
and until there's evidence, the person's screwed. And so there has to be evidence. There can't be word of mouth. There has to be evidence and witnesses and shit. So
Keep him distracted and I can raise the force field.
if you can prove the guy did it, there has to be evidence, bruising, there has to be some kind of evidence to prove. Now, DNA evidence would definitely prove his guilt and also his innocence. And a lot of people don't get, people don't understand that. If you try to accuse somebody, evidence will be needed.
Almost there, Cypher. Just a little more.
There's also cases where there was evidence to acquit the person, but the DA hid the evidence because in his or her mind that the guy did it, based on what they feel or their opinion and shit. So the evidence would prove otherwise, whether he's guilty or innocent.
Alright, you've got him trapped, but it won't last. Now get to the reactor core and initiate the self-destruct. Sending coordinates now.
So, unless you can prove that he did it or he's innocent, even cops will take it personal and tamper with evidence just to make a guy person look guilty and shit. You know? So if there was a crime committed, I would say that morally, I would probably think it's more that if you accuse an innocent guy, then instead of going after the guy that did the crime, it's morally that the chick would want to just get out of the way, just end it. But it is a crime. it is a crime. And but if you accuse an innocent guy of the crime that never met you, the guy that did it is out in the street, and his DNA is right there, and the one thing that does bug me is that nobody, Justice is blind. He's blind, and but what's really messed up is that even lawyers, even the DA fucks up quite often. The DA does fuck up every now and then, or quite often. In a case like that. And but when you look at crimes, any sex-based crimes, you look at the detectives who are investigating. There's been years of detectives that are investigating that do fuck up the evidence, and some make mistakes and admit it. Some make mistakes and don't admit it. And but it is a crime that needs to be looked at.
Becoming unstable. You did it, son.
And
What's the fastest? Forget.
so the best thing to do is investigate the investigators. You watch the watchers. An independent watch group would be more likely to because just in case if evidence all of a sudden disappears, you would need an independent investigation from a party that's independent, no ties to, but a committee that's independent and transparent, non-biased. It has to be a straight, between the lines, and thing. And no, I mean, I wouldn't say not do it, but do it. Investigate the investigators, just in case if they decide to. Well, we feel this guy did it. We're gonna fuck up the evidence. Why? Your job is to get the evidence, hand it to the DA, and also do not fuck up the evidence. The DA needs that evidence to put the guy, either to acquit the guy or put him behind bars. Because if all of a sudden
I was afraid you wouldn't make it, Cypher. Good to see you alive.
you decide not to give it, but to just toss it, because in your mind or in your fat gut, the guy's guilty.
It's really finished.
No more secret weapons,
And
no terrorists or traitors. I'm sending a message to Keeper.
by doing that, you're pretty much acquitting the guy.
But I expect the Dark Council will sort matters quietly. They'll keep
Acquitting,
tabs on the
or
run,
basically
and stop to massacre.
morally
I know you.
And
I'll take that as a compliment.
and
Come on.
and
On my way to...
I think that it's a very important thing to know that if you
This is Watcher 3 to Cypher 9. Sorry to cut your leave short, sir, but we need you. Terrorist mop-up is officially over, and the search for Lord Jadis is on hold. The war just took top priority.
I'm stuck up your...
so if a person did get consent, give consent, then all of a sudden and say, well, I think that this was a mistake. If you consented, but still, out of the blue, you thought, well, yeah, I did we did the deed, I consented, yada yada yada. Then all of a sudden, well, yeah. Then all of a sudden the waterworks come, click, ching. So, I mean, it's not, I'm not being biased here. I'm saying that things that people do, they don't think. Like the U.S. women's soccer team. Pay us more. Why? The guys, the U.S. soccer men's, the U.S. men's soccer team, they get paid as the guys. Okay, it's based on performance, not what's between your legs. It's based on performance on the field, whether it's soccer, baseball, football, okay, on the court in basketball, or on the ice in hockey, okay. And look at what's her name? Danica Patrick. She's getting paid millions of dollars, man. She's getting paid pretty good driving. She's one of two female drivers in NASCAR, making bank, and she does the GoDaddy commercials and shit, you know. And she does the GoDaddy, and now if Megan what's the name of her? Megan Rapinoe or Rapinoe, if she got a endorsement for playing women's soccer, dude, her and her team will get paid bang, dude. I mean, fuck. Complaining that we're not getting paid well. Shit. Really? You ain't getting paid well? Of course you're getting paid. You get paid comfortably. I mean, Ronda Rousey, one of the best women fighters in the UFC, made a lot of money, and also made UFC a lot of money. And there are a lot of female fighters in the UFC. There's a lot of women in professional wrestling that are making bank. Okay, making bank. Okay, making huge bank and shit, dude. Like, fuck. And the U.S. bureaucracy are complaining because they're not getting paid as the guys. Fuck that shit. You guys are getting paid comfortably. Why complain about it, man? You're making money comfortably and shit, you know? Making comfortable money. You know, and shit.
Cypher 9, come in. I was just finishing the personnel security updates.
Something looks different. Don't tell me you made it more stark.
Something of the sort. After Darth Jadis's defeat and escape, there was a great deal of chaos. The Dark Council decided to make changes.
So
My
it
predecessor
is
was elevated
that
to Minister of Intelligence. That makes me the new Keeper of Operations Division.
That's quite a promotion.
I hope I'm
As you
so it is that
Leo.
You'll be very...
and it is. It shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be an issue. Now, if you're playing soccer, football, baseball, any sport, you will get paid based on your performance. If the team liked how you did, and they want to re-sign you how you did the following year, the year before, how you did, how the numbers were pretty well, they want to sign you to another, maybe even a multi-year contract, maybe even if it's a 5-year deal, you're still going to be making a comfortable amount of money. It's morally that it's political. It's ego and political based complaint about not getting paid well, because the guys are getting paid more. That shouldn't be the issue. As long as you're getting paid comfortably, you're fine. And if you feel you're getting gypped, instead of saying, pay us more, go to the top. Talk to somebody. Negotiate a contract with that team. Don't complain about, I'm not getting paid well. Fuck you. Negotiate the deal with the head person, who's the head of the U.S. Soccer Association. Talk to that person. Talk to somebody. Don't complain. Don't bitch. Don't whine. Talk to somebody. Negotiate something. Then it's good. Don't complain saying, I'm not getting paid well because of this and this and this. Talk to somebody. Simple as that. Talk to somebody, you know. And just talk to somebody. So, alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is good old Grandmaster Evan here, and you got done watching the Anonymous Liberty Media. And if you're new to this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, please share, and hit the bell for notification. And if you got the transmission, you are the resistance. I am Grandmaster Evan. Knowledge is free. If you don't like it, we got 3 words for you. Go fuck yourself. Peace out. I'm Revan. You're not. Fuck you. I'm out.